All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com. Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, the fine print's out of the way, and it's time to roll with the show. We're back, and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And when I look into the chat, hopefully some of us are definitely staying a little cooler than others. But as I look into the chat, I see the Bills are in, Suki's in, Jason, Nelson, Shannon, Tam. Let's see here. Looks like Mark, maybe. Yeah, Mark had snuck in there on me. Let's see. I think I've got everybody for the most part. River Styx may be dropping into the chat here pretty soon as well. He may actually... Let's see, looking through the chat a little bit here, guys. Let's see, Gary's in. Which, if anybody, I mean, obviously, most of you certainly know of Gary and his great miniatures and dioramas and restorations that he does. He hangs out over there at the New Age Goonies group page. And I would imagine that most people tuning in tonight already know of the New Age Goonies group page. If you don't, I did make sure to tag their group in the link that was dropped today. Oh, looks like Gordon's in as well. Nice. And I'm assuming that, oh, anytime, Gary. Definitely some very, very nice work that Gary does. Bandito in the house. Nice. Okay, so obviously if we've seen Gordon in the chat, there have been no further updates or anything like that. So we'll just jump right into it here. Obviously, for those who saw the link for the post today, you've noticed there's a little bit of a change. The link that I dropped for the show today was obviously for Dwight from the New Age Goonies. And this afternoon, he tried to contact me late this afternoon. I was away from my phone at that point. When I realized he had tried to contact me, I tried to get back to him and was unable to hook up with him. Luckily, I did receive a message from Gordon trying to do his part to keep everybody in the loop, and apparently Dwight will not be here tonight. Unfortunately, Dwight had to seek medical attention. So hopefully, we do hope the very, very best for him, and we hope that everything goes okay. I mean, it's unfortunate that he has to seek medical attention, but that just goes to show that he's dealing with some things that are that serious. So in light of that, hopefully all goes well for him and he's okay. And that's why you all on the listening side of things happen to see that, hey, we saw a post saying one thing and we're seeing a title that says another. We didn't change the post or anything like that because we figured, well, we'll hang in there, we'll play it by ear, and we'll see if he's, if the hospital gives him a green light or not, if they give him a good bill of health or whatever. And we can still go live with what everyone was expecting to hear. And if we can't, then we'll shift gears at the last minute and do open lines and figure out what we're going to do. So tonight is a classic example of clearly that didn't go as planned, so what are we going to do? Well, let's drop back and punt and see what happens. So it's definitely not a good thing. When things like that happen, there's nothing that can really be done. So we wish him the best of luck. I will get in contact with him or, get Gordon and Gary on him maybe, and we will get him rescheduled, at a time that's convenient for him. Not that today wasn't a convenient time, just you don't plan on unplanned trips to the ER or walk-in medical center or wherever it was that he chose to seek that medical attention. So we'll try to fit him back in. It happens, and we wish him the best. Hopefully he gets to feeling better. So in light of that, we're just rolling open lines tonight, and we may not even be on all that long due to the fact of it's hot. It's hot. You guys and gals know it's hot, especially you tuning in from Florida. I thought I saw somebody post, Gordon actually the other day posted, it was, what was that? Last Wednesday, I believe. It was like 107 in Florida. I don't know if that was with the heat index or not, but that's too hot for me. Ain't happening. And obviously up here in Ohio, it is hot. I don't know for sure. I had some last minute things going on right before we went live, so I didn't get the chance to check. But I'm sure that with the heat index, we're already over 90 ourselves, probably. And it feels it here in the studio. Definitely. So we may not be on all that long due to the fact of it sure would be nice to get back into a little bit of air. And cool down a little bit. You know how it goes. So, rather than, I believe what I had done was I put a picture of the New Age Goonies logo off to the side that we were going to use in the show tonight. I had put that aside. We were going to use that in the show tonight. And in light of what had happened with Dwight, we changed it to a picture from a recent post that I had did, which is kind of one of the things that we'll be talking about tonight. No, not talking about the fines, because the fines weren't necessarily all that grand in that picture. Just clad coins. I did hit a 1940 wheat, though, first coin out, that was nice. That was definitely nice. Let's see here. That was definitely nice, but then it all turned south after that. We just hit clad coins. But the whole point of it was, in the heat, we had waited until it started to cool down before we went out. And we took some cold water with us. Thankfully, I had enough foresight, I guess you could say, to grab the cooling towel from Detectors. Wetted that down before we left the house, took that with me. Had it not been for the cooling towel, I mean, we were out until after dark. We didn't get back to the house until about 10 o'clock last night. So I'm going to say we were probably out a good 2.5, maybe even 3 hours. Had it not been for the cooling towel, though, I could not have handled it that long. Definitely could not have handled it that long. And that's one of the reasons why we do the field safety and medical awareness shows, is so that people, sometimes out of sight, out of mind, if it's not there for you to give any thought to, we don't even think about it. So it's good to remind people from time to time, you definitely have to stay hydrated when you're out there. Well, with that being said, the whole part about the hydration, obviously, so you don't get dehydrated and so you can keep your core from overheating. Well, that's where the cooling towels come in handy. The cooling wraps, the cooling vests, hydration packs, any of that. Unfortunately for us last night, we weren't planning on being out real long. So we only took a bottle of water for each of us. Hindsight, maybe we should have thought to take a little more. Because when we were finally ready to go, we were definitely ready to go. We had ran out of water, but at that point, the temperature had been dropping. So, That was a plus, and it's not like we were, far from water or anything if we needed it. We were like a block from a carryout. There were drinking fountains, things of that nature, but still, it's something that you want to keep in mind. And I had saw where somebody had commented on my original post yesterday, because before we headed out, we figured, well, we're going to need, we need to restock our supply of beverages, water, pop, things of that nature at the house anyway. So we ran out to the grocery store to do that. On the way into the store, I scored a quarter on the way, while I was in the store. Scored a Coinstar spill. So I was already up $1, well, just about, before we even started to hunt. So that's always a nice plus. But somebody had commented on that post, be careful. I was out today, and I want to say that they said they were only out a half hour, 45 minutes before the heat started to get to them. Understandably so, because of the heat that we're in right now. We've been thrown right from spring directly into the frying pan, it seems to be. So, they couldn't make it very long. And that is certainly unfortunate, because that restricts your time in the field. Oh, I see Barb's in as well. And obviously then, that only stands to reason. If you're out in the field for a half an hour, 45 minutes, when you could be out for 2 hours, well, chances are good you're going to make a lot fewer finds in that half hour or 45 minutes that you're out than what you could have if you had been out there for, say, 2.5 hours. It only stands to reason. It's a numbers game. That's the logic of it. Your finds are relative to time spent in the field. And the longer we can stay out there, the more successful that we're apt to be. Now, whether that's because you've got, say, some knee issues, back issues, shoulder, whatever, and you have to use a lighter detector so you can stay out there longer, or if it's due to the season, colder weather, you want to bundle up, hotter weather, you want to wear loose clothing or stay ventilated, stay hydrated. That's something to keep in mind. And recently we had done the show, our field safety and medical awareness, our spring show. And I'm sure that we touched a little bit at that point on the fact of staying hydrated, because that is usually something that Barb and I will at least touch on, especially on the spring medical awareness shows, because we're rolling into summer. It's, our hunting styles, our tactics, our methods, even our gear that we use changes from, or is dictated by the season and environment that we're in. For you water hunters, if it's still early in the season, the water's still cool, maybe you're getting in there with waders instead of just a shorty or shorts or whatever your preferred outfit to wear is when you're water hunting. Maybe you're in there with a full wetsuit. You never know. Personally, for me, when the water's cool like that, okay, Operator Steve, huh? I think we've got a caller coming through. Let's see if I can grab that call. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Josh, this is Jim down in Orlando. How you doing now?
Well, I don't know that I'm staying necessarily very cool, but I guess maybe a little cooler than you. You guys are hot down there.
Actually, but we have the technology to deal with it. You guys up there don't usually get hot weather except every summer, right?
Well, yeah, touche. The central air is down, so we're restricting to a one-room air conditioner and making sure that we at least stay comfortable there.
Well, if it gets really hot here, we all go over to Mark Hoover's house because he's got like a 2-story place. So we can all, and he's got a big cul-de-sac we can all park in. So we all head over to Mark Hoover's place when it gets really hot.
Right, there you go. The emergency contingency plan, right?
Right. But he's trained his dogs to recognize all of us. So it's getting harder and harder to get over to his place. But
anyway. Not good. Not good.
Yeah. He's got nice dogs, but they've got, I forget, he took a picture of one the other day and that eyes were like glowing coals. So we're getting a little nervous about going over and visiting Mark.
Right.
But,
well,
otherwise,
he probably told him that you guys all carry pull tabs or something.
How did he find out about that? That is what I really want to know, how he found that out, because we were being pretty, like 3 a.m, dumping the tabs in his lawn, but apparently, I don't know, somehow he found out about that. He's got some kind of infrared gear over his place, and he's pretty careful.
I think.
But anyway,
I think Mark has just gone the route of automatically assuming everyone has a pull tab for him at this point.
Well, everyone gives Mark pull tabs of all kinds. He has a pull tab collection second to none, I think. He gets gifts. He travels to hunts far across the land. He has his own Learjet, and he goes and it's full of pop tabs when he comes back. It's like, but I don't know why. But everybody's always pulling a joke on Mark and giving him pop tabs as gifts and presents and things. I don't know why. I don't know what he said about pop tabs that caused that.
I think we created a monster with it there a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think something happened a few years ago that caused that. But anyway, it's been pretty hot here in Florida. It's been a couple days ago. It was 115 degrees when we were getting groceries.
Oh, I mean,
I got some turkey dinners, and by the time I got home, they defrost themselves and cooked themselves. So we actually had dinner on the porch. Yeah, I mean, kept them warm. But it's been hard detecting. We also have down here, in addition to the heat, as everybody who lives here knows, we have tremendous thunderstorms. I mean, you'd be hunting under a bridge or something, it'll be a big bang and a shower of sparks come all down into the water. And you're like, beat feet, man. You never get back to your car faster than that. Try to get the detector in the back. But it's been pretty bad down here.
Yeah, I want to say last week or so, it looked like there was a big one came through Sanford area up there in Jack's neck of the woods.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a few tornadoes go through, and I don't know how to handle a tornado. They sent us some kind of a thing. My insurance company sent me a thing on how to prepare for a tornado, which is a hurricane that's about, 100 feet wide, 200 feet wide, 300 mile an hour hurricane. And I mean, I don't know how you prepare for that, especially when you're detecting. Maybe you can get under a bridge, but the thing takes the bridge off you. I mean, they're that powerful.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping for one to suck all the water over this local river over here, so we could maybe spend an hour detecting the bottom. But
right,
it's been fairly dry too, and it's just recently the storms have come. So rivers that were down, we had a couple of rivers around here that were part of the I think they were military roads from the 1840s, and it was an Indian trail before that, and it went across the river, and we've hunted that area, and it's been dry as a bone. I mean, we've come up with odd artifacts. We don't know what they are, but as the drier it gets, the harder. It's easier to get away from the alligators because the alligators don't like low water, so they kind of not bother you too much.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because we have had unseasonable amounts of rainfall lately. And I want to say, like we're already over our annual rainfall average for the year here in our area.
Really?
And I want to say 10 days ago, they were closing roads 7 blocks from here because of high water. And last night we were up in that area, and I'm having to actually find spots that you can dig in because the ground is already that dry. They've got some excellent drainage up there, and I'm sure the sun beating down on everything hasn't helped it either. But the ground is just hard packed in some of those areas already, and I wouldn't have believed it knowing that they were closed because of high water 10 days ago. But
really, that's odd.
Yeah,
that's really odd because you get like 30% increase in depth with saturated ground. So you get hit a couple places you've never been to, or everybody else has been to, and you'll start finding coins and artifacts again. And as soon as it dries up, you're not down there. I mean, we had rain here years ago in a park. It's a historic park over here, orange groves from the 1800s. And I found a V-nickel that was like 15, 16 inches deep in my Mine Lab E-track. That thing. Nice. And I dug all the way down there, and I'm like, that's funny. I'm never getting signals out here. But the ground was soaking wet. And I dug this thing down, and I pulled it. It was deeper than my elbow. I was digging like a surgeon looking for I don't know. Anyway, I see this little object sticking out of the hole in the mud, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, I just dug like 16, 17 inches for a stupid, bottle cap liner, those little white liners with the silver. You know how they look, right?
Right.
And I'm like, I can't believe that. Yanked it out and stood up and looked at it. It was a 1942 silver quarter, and it was worn as thin as a piece of paper. It was like you could have cut steak with it. It was so thin. But I had never gotten a signal like that before, and I'd been over that area. That's the kind of one of those areas when you feel like going to hunt, I'm going to hunt here, because it's out of the way, nobody bothers you, and I'm not going to get a signal anyway, but that's okay. And then, boom, I get the signal. I'm like, man. And I'm thinking, if everything is 16 to 17 inches deep, this is going to be a rainy day only hunt place from now on, because otherwise you're never going to find anything.
Right. And note to self, stop by the store and grab some pain reliever on the way home, because your back will be killing you.
Yeah, my legs bothered me after I had a tumor in my back, so my legs bothered me. Like most guys my age, Mark is a pretty young guy, so he doesn't have this problem that I do. But I can get down, but I can't get up.
Right.
And that's okay for being cool. I can get down, but I can't get up. That's why because everybody asks me why I use those ball handle shovels, and that's because I use that as a crutch to stand back up. If I lose that thing, I'm just going to be lying on the ground till the ranger shows up. So
right, we got to get back up somehow. That's one of the reasons I use it. Yeah. It also says something about lightning on that shovel. It's a aircraft steel shovel, and it's got a warning about lightning on it. And I haven't read it yet. I should probably look at it. See what it says. Sticking a wet aircraft steel shovel in soggy, conductive ground when there's lightning around is probably not the brightest. You're going to have to repaint that shovel after you pry it out of my crispy hands, because it's going to have a little paint burned off it. Yeah, exactly. Nothing like carrying a conductor around. You're just asking for it, especially only rainy day hunting with it.
Yeah. Well, we have lightning here that is ground to cloud lightning. It's not always cloud to ground. Sometimes it's ground to cloud.
That's right.
And a lot of times I think I'm putting a conductor ready to fire 5 million volts into the blue there. And I try not to touch it when it's in the ground unless I'm digging.
Or getting back up.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to get back up if the lightning hits that thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, nice talking to you, Josh. I thought I'd just say hi from Orlando. It's been real hot. You should come down are you coming down to our next big CFMDC hunt coming up next in 2020? You're coming down, right?
Well, you never know. We'll have to see how things go. At least right now, for the time being, I seem to be getting around okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, our annual silver and sunshine silver and
relic
hunt we have. Yeah, we have that. It's a one-day thing. All of us managed to survive it this last time. Well,
there
quite a thrill.
There were a couple of close calls, the way it sounded.
Yeah, we had expected about 150 people to show up, which is about the normal number every year. And this year, for some reason, since we advertised it, we had KG and Ringy there, thanks to Mark Hoover's orchestrations, and we had She Detector there, and we had Captain Carl Fismer there, And we had
Delete
Gary
from Note to
Drayton
Macro,
there.
Gary Drayton, yeah.
Right, Gary was there. So it turns out we ended up with 350-something people. So, and it was quite a thrill. It was just, and we managed to get through it. We decided at a meeting we'd all have two-way radios. If we hadn't had those, we would have been sunk. But everybody was pretty well behaved except for a few people, and overall it went off pretty well.
Now that couldn't have been Ringy and KG, would it?
No, Ringy and KG, they were basically harassing the MindLab people. I went over, I was talking to them, and there was somebody with a MindLab, and George goes, he goes, why even use a detector? He says, just pick it up. Because, when we seed the field, we just toss coins out there. The grass hides them. But,
right.
Yeah, KG's like, well, what? I'm like, what, don't use a detector? He goes, no, just pick them up. And somebody was there with a MindLab something, and they were doing something, and Ringy's like, hey, you got some problems at MindLab there. You better get a little closer in. Figure it out. You can get yourself a AT Pro or AT. It was just funny.
Yeah.
They were just the problem. Some of the problems we had with folks that were, let's just say, the younger guys were probably wallowing in a little too much testosterone that day. So we had a few people that walk. You're not supposed to walk through a seeded field. If we seed a field, okay, don't walk through it until the hunt. It's not to be wandering around out there. That's a seeded field for an upcoming hunt.
Right.
So we had a couple of guys the size of refrigerators, like Frigidaires. I mean, big guys. And they went out there, and apparently they picked up a few coins and put them in their pocket. At least that was the story. Well, apparently another three guys sitting in the pavilion saw that, and they were like, wait a minute, you better put those, that's in it. And it banged back and forth and back and forth. Next thing you know, the radio's like, can you come up front? I think we got a problem.
Right, yeah.
So we damped that all down by threatening to throw everyone out, and then they all calmed down. And another guy who wanted to punch me out, he came up and he started yelling at me, bouncing around. He's going to hit me.
That's
good.
Good.
And then he got this wide-eyed look on him. And I'm like, why does he look so scared of me? I'm like, I'm really not, a very imposing dude. And then I turn around and there's like 10 guys from the club behind me, 6-footers and guys, scuba divers, and they're all scowling at this guy. I didn't even know they were there. And they're like, yeah, we were going to take care of it in case we had a problem. I'm like, dang, I didn't know I had my own posse. But overall, it was a lot of fun. We gave away a lot of prizes. We had
you guys
had the folks from, oh man, we were throwing, silver out by like $12,000 to $15,000 worth of silver, So
right,
I thought for a small
not even
club,
counting the prizes like the detectors and pin.
Oh no, not even the prizes. We gave away, away a lot of stuff. I mean, big prizes. I mean, we weren't giving away silver quarters. I mean, I guess we were if you dug them up out in the relic hunt. But we were giving away a lot of good stuff. And I was trying to tell everybody, at the end of the meeting, I would tell everybody, let me tell you how to do a hunt, because a lot of people don't hunt hunts. I mean, if there's tokens out there, the first thing you want to do is ignore the change and get a token,
Right.
We never tell them what it is. It could be a washer, could be a screwdriver. I know we planted a couple of screwdrivers as tokens, and people, they try to set up their discrimination so they only pick up silver, and they pass over a lot of the tokens that are iron, or steel, and we never tell anybody what they are.
I've seen other hunts do similar things like that too. Like some hunts, maybe the token is actually a pull tab, just to teach people you can't be ignoring signals. You may miss something.
Right. Well, usually it's marked, like we'll put a colored tie wrap or something around it, and that serves, because I mean, if they pick up a pop tab, we don't know which. There's already pop tabs out there that somebody dumped when they were drinking their soda,
Right.
So we have to mark the pop tabs so we know what they are, but.
Right.
But overall, it was a hot day. We had that hunt. It was hot. So I know Mark came back. Mark came over. I was sitting there. I couldn't quite walk because my legs had seized up, and I saw Mark Hoover come over. He says, "Man, can you put some water in this?" And then he disappeared again, and he came back, and I'm like, "Man, I need to call an ER for Mark," because Mark was, we're not young guys. We're not used to running around for 14 hours like that, but we managed to get through it. We had one guy who had a heart problem and collapsed, and we went and got him on a stretcher. We had a couple people that came in. What we used to do is we've had armbands. If people want to come in and eat, we'll put armbands on them, and if you don't have an armband, you don't get served food. And we have had a lot of people came in to the event that wanted to go get some free food. We ran out of food one year because we had an entire Boy Scout troop we didn't know about wandered over to the to our food line, and they ate everything. And then when everybody was off, there's no food left. We take quite a bit. The Boy Scouts are all marching around singing "Who's the Member of the Club," and then Carolyn's like, "Where's the food?" They're like, "Well, all the Boy Scouts had quite a bit." We're like, "Wait a minute, you're not supposed to be feeding the Boy Scouts." They're like, "Oh, really?" So we have to be careful. We learn every time we have one of these events. We learn a little bit more the next time we're going to set up an event. Alan James has done the event. This was our 7th year. He did the event for 5 years, 6 years in a row.
Right.
And he did it all himself, and I don't know how he did it. I really don't. But we had a lot of members that were volunteers who were part of the hunt. They had paid to hunt, still giving us a hand, carrying around tables and prizes and stacking stuff up. It's really a great group. I was really proud of everybody. Everybody did a really great job, and I hope we'll have a better one next year.
Yeah, it was great to see everybody kind of come together and put on, another great event every year. It just seems to get better and better and better, and you guys seem to learn something every year or observe and say, well, this year we're going to do this a little different. We're going to make it better and make it to where it runs smoother. And this year it did. It ran pretty smooth from everything I heard.
Yeah, we were pretty impressed. Actually, Alan James actually hunted that event that he's been hosting for the last 6 years. He finally got to get out there and actually detect and hunt. That
had to have been a very nice change for him.
I think he was pretty happy, especially when all the conflict was going on. He was sitting there smiling while we were trying to calm people down. He's like, right, "I told you it wasn't any fun." Yeah, he said, that's exactly what he said. He said, "This isn't my problem." He says, "It's your problem."
Right.
But it was fun, and we hope to do a better one next year. We're hoping to get. We had something too the day before that hunt. We had called a meet and greet where we had KG and Ringy and She Detector, Gary Drayton, at this little golf country club off of 520, which is away from the downtown hubbub. It's actually a pretty nice place. It's quiet, it's calm, and everybody had a great time. We had food. They had great food there. We gave away a couple metal detectors there. I think KJ and Ringy gave away a detector. But everybody had fun. It was great. So I hope you can come in 2020, Josh, because we're going to vote on it, I think, at a club meeting, whether you're coming or not. So we'll send you our decision from the club board. So I'm sure Mark is going to vote yes. I'm going to vote yes. I think Carolyn will. Vicky and Michael, I don't know. We'll have to maybe urge them to vote the right way.
They may be kind of up in the air. Maybe a little coercion there.
Maybe. All right. Well, I'll stop hogging the lines there, Josh. You take care, and it was good talking to you.
Hey, you too, and good to see you out enjoying things again. It's good to get away from the VA every now and then, right?
It is, but they take darn good care of me.
Yes, they do.
The funny thing is the VA hospital looks like the Starship Enterprise, and I go over to the civilian hospital, it looks like Beverly Hillbillies' original cabin. So It's a big difference, and it's a shame it has to be that way.
Yeah,
But
I kind of
that's what it is.
I kind of get that too, where I go for my treatments and stuff. Much better area to have treatments done with than, say, your local medical center.
Yeah, it really is. I go to the local one, and they go, "It's that guy again." They always say, "It's that guy again." Hey, Bob, it's that guy again. That's what they say. So
right anymore,
I was getting too familiar.
Anymore, I've got so much going on. I go walking in, and they don't know what to do with me anyhow, so they just leave me sit there, and finally I get frustrated.
I'm pretty sure they have a bed with your name on it there, like they do here. It's just mine.
Well, I know
respirators. It's just for me.
I know in Columbus, they're on a first name basis with me.
I'll bet. They talk about you all the time too. I hear from them all the time. People in our hospital say, "Hey, Columbus called about Josh." Like, no way. All right. Hang in there, man.
You too.
Feel good. And, we'll see you next year at the 2020, hunt we have. So.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds
hang in there,
like
bud.
a great time. You too, Jim. Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Well, it's been a while since we've heard from Jim. Very cool. Good to hear from him again. And I'm sure, I don't know, I've been away from the chat for a little bit, but I'm sure everybody was just having a blast in the chat there, so to speak. Well, let's see. Looks like, well, I see there was something there about the post office there. I guess apparently they know where to bring the pull tabs for Mark. That's all right. Well, let's see. And HomeFinders in the chat too. He was asking me just the other day. It's like, man, we've got a spot that we go out and hit. Well, it has schedule and weather and all other prevailing forces allow. But with all the weather that we've had, it's been too wet. And now we've went from too wet, we're going, man, when's it going to dry up some so we can go check that spot again, to now we're going, man, when's it going to cool off a little bit so we can check that spot again? So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully we can get out there again a little bit sometime in the near future. I was out at another one of our spots, actually, Thursday. I had thrown the detector in the vehicle just in case I had time to hunt, but I was actually there to assist with some things that particular day, so the detector never got fired up. So, haven't been back to check that spot out again either. But what do you do? And he posts in the chat, extremely busy. Yes, he has been. It's been busy for a lot of us here lately, and it's not even necessarily, not necessarily anything planned or anything. It just things keep coming up. Sometimes you don't plan for it, but hey, it's time to address it. Kind of like with Nelson's deck lately. If anybody had seen his post, he had to do some deck repair recently, I guess. Looked like it turned out quite nice, though. Sounds like it was a little bit of a pain for him, but it still turned out quite nice. Oh, and another thing, too, to mention. I believe, actually, I had mentioned it Wednesday, and we've had some more information come out since then, I guess, so I don't believe I mentioned that part Wednesday, but recently Bill had found himself a very, very nice merchant token, scalloped-style merchant token, 4 lobes, I believe it was, the Mecca in Newark, Ohio. Either way, I was going to try to look up in my token books to see if there was any information, and I happened to check the token database, because a lot of us do use that as well, and happened to notice that I didn't see it over there. And then, I don't know, maybe late Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, something like that, sometime between then and now, apparently it had been submitted to the token database, and it is listed on there now. So, Bill was, he was pretty pleased to be able to contribute that information, that piece of history, the imagery and everything to the token database. So, congratulations to Bill on that. Very, very cool. Definitely. And for those who may be wondering, I mean, obviously, normally we cover our links in our description. We've got them all in there again tonight. You know, Shooters and Prospectors, Extreme Scoops, Detectees, XP Team USA, River Styx Outdoors, All Metal Militia. And I think that covers everything in there. Those links are definitely in the description. But we had covered, I believe it was Wednesday, about the cooling towels a little bit. And they, well, let me think. I don't want to misquote this. I believe that they will be available on DETECTEES.com within the coming week or so for people who may be interested in the cooling towels. And that's not just, you know, Beyond Sight and Sound. I'm sure that stands for Relics Radio, Dirt Pirates, pretty much anything that they normally carry. You can probably have that option in a cooling towel as well, I would think. But like I said, don't quote me on that. Keep an eye on the site if you're looking to purchase one. Otherwise, they will be available. Who knows? Maybe the next time we're live, we'll go ahead and give one away to a lucky listener. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, with the weather and everything, the shows may be a little shorter. And we'll just have to see what goes on and play it by ear. I mean, worked out okay tonight. So, nothing wrong with that either. Also, let's see here. I see they're congratulating Bill in the chat. Very, very cool. Also, River Styx Outdoors was in the chat. I did not see any message from him, but he did mention before the show that he may be posting in the chat an announcement. So hopefully we'll see what happens there. Hopefully he did give an announcement. And if he did, well, we'll have to check that out. I know he was very, very pleased when he got back to his house. He had a number of packages. A number of them. I mean, I don't remember how many, but it was quite a few. Either way, I'm sure we'll be seeing some about those packages in possibly some upcoming videos. Pretty cool to see some of the stuff, you know, you guys and gals may be pretty excited about. Others, who knows? But you can always check out his channel on YouTube at River Styx Outdoors. Just search YouTube for River Styx Outdoors. Let's see, actually, I think, yeah, it looks like he's actually trying to call in. I think we got him, too. How's it going, Tom?
Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Hey.
So, I had to pause you on the program because it was like latency. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try. I've never been able to do this successfully yet, but I think it's going to work. And I got your package. I got Chuck's package. So I've got Mind Lab, I got Pulse Dives, I picked up other things. I got some coins, I got the books, got a couple headphones I was going to tell you about. They're not mine, what I personally use. Got the bracelets, so got your shirt. So I was going to just try, for the hell of it, just to do like a 15-minute little live thing or something, just to do my first live.
Nice. And are you
going live in 6 minutes?
Are you doing this on YouTube or on Facebook?
On my YouTube channel.
Okay, so River Sticks Outdoors then.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's set to go live in 6 minutes, you said?
Yeah, but I can bump it up to 9:30 or whatever.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that, Eddie, or anything like that. I'm sure people have heard me and Jim ramble on long enough.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not going to interrupt with your show. I'm not going to go till yours is done. It'll sit there and stare at the stuff.
Well, I'm kind of interested myself in seeing those packages. I think it'll be, as long as everything goes well and you're able to go live, I think it'll be interesting to watch. I'll have to make sure and share it.
Bear with me because I've never done this. It may go without a hitch, but whatever.
Right, there could be technical difficulties. Just bear in mind, folks, and maybe we can work through them.
Got your shark's copper, too. That's way cool.
Right, yeah, I know Barb, I believe, recently won one of those as well. She was pretty pleased with it. I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that she probably likes the Blackbeard copper a little. She's probably a little more preferential to it.
Oh, that's definitely peach. Yeah, that's definitely a cool one.
Right. Definitely.
But also, too, we're only a couple of days away from the 4th. That will be fun. So then I'm probably going to give away some little side gifts on that deal.
There you go. Yeah, little extra surprise in the mix for those that follow the River Sticks Outdoors YouTube channel.
Yeah. So,
good.
Impressed with that pulse dive. I think you'll like seeing it.
Yeah. So far, from everything I've seen, everything I've heard, the limited amount of videos that I've been able to watch, it looks good. I think they've got a hit on their hands. I think they've really
that's what I mean when I say
out of the
seeing
park.
it. I'm talking about when you see it firsthand. I'm talking about when you.
Right.
I know you've seen them already. I meant when you get one in your hand. From the little testing I did with coins and stuff, just moving it away from my hand, I was impressed. I can't wait to try it in water.
Yeah, that's really going to be interesting. Hopefully you do get the opportunity to here soon. And it'll be a good way to cool down a little bit, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's so hot down here.
Right.
They weren't lying about it being warm in Florida. Well, you know what? It was just as hot in Kentucky 2 days ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it ain't exactly no fun here in Ohio either. It's just not quite near as hot, but still...
Well, I went through part of Ohio, and I was up in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and then, it was hot. Yeah. It was just as hot.
Yeah, it's hot everywhere right now. Good grief.
Yep.
That's another reason why I think I'm okay with that go live in about, less than 6 minutes now, because that means I can do my post-production work and get back into the air.
Let me say something real quick about up in Kentucky area, Ohio, West Virginia. I walked through a battlefield, and I was doing a walkthrough on a battlefield the other day too, and I need to edit that and get that up. But I came out with 2 ticks on me that I found driving down the road later. Not to mention the ones that I found on me, just walking through the parking lot of the battlefield. So.
Right.
Yeah, if you guys are up that way with that humidity right now, watch for ticks, man.
Yeah, that's why we do like to kind of beat the subject into people's minds about the ticks with our medical awareness shows, because that is a very serious issue. Lymes is no fun. Or any of the other diseases that they carry, for that matter. Definitely not any fun.
Well, so supposedly in a minute and a half, we'll see if this will work.
All right. Well, then I guess I should probably let you go so you can get ready for that, and I'll wrap up here.
You got it, buddy. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Hey, you too, man.
Well, so we got to hear a little bit from River Styx Outdoors, with his contest or not contest, but his go live video that he is going to attempt to achieve tonight after we're off air, and with him going live here in a minute and a half or something like that. You know what? I think that's a great spot for us to end on. So check out River Styx Outdoors on YouTube. Hopefully everything goes well. Remember, though, this is the first attempt at this, I guess, so hopefully it all goes well for him, and bear that in mind. You may want to hang around there for a few minutes and see, just in case there is a glitch. Maybe he gets it up and running anyway. So until the next time, we gotta roll, folks. But if you enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like. You can follow us here on Spreaker, Facebook, all the lovely podcast distribution services, as well as all of the very, very cool Facebook groups out there. And the Ohio Metal Detecting channel on YouTube, River Styx Outdoors channel on YouTube. A lot of places. Join us on all of them, one of them, or none of them. The choice is entirely up to you. Until the next one, though, we're out of here.